We are back once again, guys, right here on the channel for another video. It's time to do Smackdown Live. You know, Smackdown Live, there's that old saying. You've always got your ups, and you've always got your downs. And to me, it felt like Smackdown was a down this week. Because, I don't get it. I just don't understand that Smackdown, it wasn't all that great. Outside of one match, there really wasn't anything to enjoy. The opening sequence was Becky Lynch arriving in her car. I doubt that's her car. She arrives in her car, and the first thing we see is Kayla Braxton telling Becky, is she ready for Asuka? She gives her the obvious answer, yes. So, and then she proceeds to walk to the arena, and then you see Heavy Machinery with the New Day. And it seems like the Heavy Machinery, they're just going to become another comedy act. Seems like they're going to become another comedy act. We don't need more comedy acts. Michael Cole said they're going to go through trials. I think that's what he said on Monday Night Raw, that these call-ups are going to go through trials. So does that trial mean that Otis Dosovic and Tucker Knight have to make a ton of food? Does that trial also mean EC3 posing to a window, to some kind of mirror? Does that trial also mean we're seeing Nikki Cross doing this to the fence and screaming, "I wanna play! I wanna play!" And does that trial also mean Lacey Evans staring at a TV watching two women fight? That's not a trial to me. A trial to me is those wrestlers getting in the ring and performing. That's a trial. That is a trial. That's a trial. Getting them in the ring and actually showing these people what they're capable of. I feel like these call-ups are just they're gonna be doomed to fail. It doesn't matter what brand they end up on, even if they surprise us. Lars Sullivan is probably gonna be the only one out of these call-ups that's probably gonna get a push. Lars Sullivan seems to be the only guy that's gonna get a push. They're mainly focusing on Lars Sullivan, because we have not seen him. We have not seen him at all this week. We didn't see him on Raw. I figured that we might have eventually seen him confront Cena. Or, something at least. But we haven't seen Lars Sullivan. It seems like Lars Sullivan is the only guy WWE are intending on pushing. EC3 is just going to be a mid-card act. Lacey Evans is just going to be a lower mid-card level female. Same as Nikki Cross. She's probably going to be lower mid-card, maybe upper mid-card a bit for the women. And Tucker Knight and Otis Dosovic, they're just going to be a comedy act. Great, more comedy acts. We've already got R-Truth and Carmella doing that. We don't need Tucker Knight and Otis Dosovic. That's my main concern with these NXT call-ups, man. What do they do with these people? Why call them up? Put all these packages on them. Why give them all these promo packages? they're just not going to do anything. You go through all this effort just to hype these people up, give them promo packages every week just to flow it out. And that is how you use these people? You have them sitting around backstage? That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. They need to get in the ring. So, Becky Lynch Becky Lynch calls out Asuka. She doesn't call out Asuka. She talks about Asuka. Talking about hype. She goes on about hype and how Asuka's all hype. Asuka eventually comes out. She says that you won't be in Charlotte's shadow, you'll be in my shadow. You know, the segment was going good until I heard the Iconics music. I immediately turned my head to the TV because I can't believe it. I love these two girls. I love Peyton. I love Billy. These two have so much potential, and you're just wasting their talent away. You're wasting their talent away by having them talk on the microphone, have them say all this stuff, and then they get in the ring and they're going to get their asses kicked. It's not fair to them. And I don't want anyone, I don't care who you are, I don't want anyone to prefer the Iconics, their mic skill. I don't want anyone saying the Iconics' mic skill is worse than Nia Jax's promo skills. The Iconics, at least I can tolerate them. I can tolerate listening to them talk. I can tolerate the Iconics. I can't tolerate Nia. There's your big difference. So you can tell who's worse. Nia Jax is the worst promo cutter in the world. Miz likes to talk about the best in the world. Well, you got yourself the worst promo in the world in Nia Jax. The Iconics is nowhere near their level. So Becky has a match with Peyton Royce. Woohoo! I sure hope Peyton Royce can somehow pick up a victory here. Of course, I can only go to sleep and dream about Peyton Royce and Billie Kay getting wins. I guarantee you, they're going to get eliminated in an instant in the Royal Rumble. They're going to do a little comedy thing and they're going to get thrown out. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And and I guarantee you one of them will be first out. Bank on it. That's my prediction. One of the Iconics members is going to be first eliminated. Watch. So, Becky obviously taps out Peyton Royce. And then Asuka starts speaking Japanese. And then all of a sudden she challenges Billie Kay. Throws Billie Kay and doesn't give Billie Kay any time at all. Just jumps on her immediately. Throws her in the ring. Puts the Asuka lock on her. And that's it. Doesn't give her any time. Just throws her in the ring. Put her like an armbar. And then slaps the Asuka lock on her. No chance. No chance at all. And then the two stare down. And then all of a sudden AJ Styles interrupts. Starts walking around, and then he goes into the crowd, and then he starts talking about how Daniel Bryan is saying that the people are foul, they're eating hot dogs, they're drinking sodas, and then AJ Styles is saying that we can eat what we want, we can drink what we want. This is the world, we do what we want, you can't control people, and then, boy, I'd like to be in that crowd. Styles throwing out AJ Styles' hats, his t-shirts. He's throwing out his hats, his t-shirts. I wish I was one of those lucky people in that stand getting a t-shirt or a hat. That would be awesome. But then Daniel Bryan comes out of nowhere and attacks. He was dressed up as one of the people in the stand, and he attacks AJ Styles. Those two guys have a brawl. Samoa Joe and Mustafa Ali, they were prepared to have a match, but then Samoa Joe proceeds to attack Ali. Doesn't give Ali any time. He just beats the living snot out of this kid. Just beats the snot out of him. And, you know, I appreciate the effort. I appreciate that they're trying to make Joe look like a dominant force. But honestly, you've killed off a lot of things. Honestly, you've really killed it off. I mean, like, you made him look like a weakling against AJ Styles. So, why try now? Why try now? None of us are really going to take Joe seriously anymore. Samoa Joe is not going to win the Royal Rumble. He's not. Even though it'd be awesome to see him win the Royal Rumble, I just don't think he's going to. So, Samoa Joe just dismantled Mustafa Ali. Possibly the best match, and the only best match of the night, was Andrade Almas and... Oh, sorry. His name's not Andrade Almas anymore. His name is now Andrade. Yep. They cut off the CN and Almas in his name. Why? Was his name too long? Was his name too long for WWE? Did Vince McMahon think his name was way too long? You could have just taken out the CN. You could have just called him Andrade Almas. Isn't that what he used to be called when he was first called into NXT? Wasn't he just Andrade Almas? I'm pretty sure he was Andrade Almas, and then they added the CN in his name. Or did they actually find out that his name represents a number? I don't know, man. I found that really weird. But Andrade Almas is no longer Andrade Almas. He's now just known as Andrade. And I'm very disappointed. But, however, Andrade, I gotta get used to just calling him Andrade. I know some people may say, oh, I'm never gonna call him Andrade. He's Andrade Almas to me. He's Andrade Almas to me. That's fair enough. But Andrade and Rey Mysterio proceeded to give us an absolute unbelievable match. The match was incredible. You cannot deny that this was an awesome match. This match was, in my opinion, it felt like a 5-star classic because they're doing a lot of things in that ring. I can't give this match any justice. The match was just so good, it was hard to deny this is an awesome match. And you can't discredit any of these two guys. But unfortunately, the only downside to the match is Zelina Vega at the very end jumping in. That Zelina Vega jumped in at the very end. See, this is the issue. Guys, to all you Andrade lovers, all you Andrade fanboys out there, this right here was the issue I had with him in NXT. I enjoy watching this guy wrestle. You see, this was the issue. guys just saw right in front of you the thing that he did in NXT. This is the same shit that happened in NXT, but you ignore it. But I guarantee you, there'll be a lot of people complaining about how, oh, Andrade doesn't need Zelina Vega. He can beat Ray on his own. Really now? Really now? Well, I'm sorry, but I saw Zelina Vega jump in so many matches of Andrade in NXT. This was the problem. You people like to complain about, oh, how the main roster always has outside interferences. The match was great. I was enjoying this match. This match was unbelievable. It was on the edge of my seat. I was enjoying every single minute of this match. I was so pumped. I was looking forward to see who was going to win. I didn't care who won. It was a great match. But the one thing that ruined this match was Zelina Vega. I hate repeating myself. You people hate outside interferences? Well, there you go. You just had another one. Are you going to ignore it because it's Andrade Almas? No, you will not. You're not going to ignore this one. This is the issue I had with him in NXT. I've got nothing against this guy's ring skill. But Zelina Vega interfering is the main issue. Zelina Vega interfering is the main issue. That's all I gotta say about that. Good on Andrade. Great match. But Zelina Vega ruined it. I understand he's a heel. And he needs to have a heel manager to do all the heel stuff for him. But he can win a match on his own. He's proven he can win a match on his own. I was about to say how great Zelina Vega's been. She's barely interfered in his matches. But now all of a sudden she does. Now I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. All I'm saying is, guys, please, for the love of God, I don't care if you like this guy. Acknowledge the fact she interfered. That's all I ask for. Great match, though. It was a great match. But I'm disappointed at the same time. We had this thing with Mandy Rose, man. You know, I love Mandy Rose. I do. I believe Mandy Rose is a future women's champion. She's a future women's champion. But I feel so bad that she's in a stupid storyline like this. This storyline is meaningless. It is dumb. It's dumb. She doesn't need to be in a storyline with Jimmy Uso saying she wants to go to the Uso Penitentiary. You know? Saying she wants to go to the Uso Penitentiary. Well, she ain't going to be on lockdown, that's for sure. My main issue with this storyline is that it's about Jimmy Uso. That's the only issue here. Why can't Naomi and Mandy Rose compete in a ring? We've seen Mandy Rose brawl with a towel on. We saw her had this big cloth on. And now she was wearing a black dress or something. She unveiled her bras. She's wearing black. And then she reveals to Jimmy Uso that she never wanted to be with him. Well, what was the issue with the storyline then? If you were targeting Jimmy Uso, if you never were interested in Jimmy Uso, why the hell were you targeting him in the first place? Oh, because she's Jimmy Uso's wife? Because she's Naomi's husband? See, these are the things that I don't understand. Why do that? That was the same thing that Lana did to Enzo Amore. Do you people remember that feud? Lana and Enzo, they were in love. And then all of a sudden, Lana traps Enzo and he gets annihilated by Rusev. Do you guys remember that feud? I'm sure you don't. Good, neither do I. But honestly, it's stupid. So, and also, Sonya Deville was scheduled to have a match with Carmella. And their match got pulled. Their match got pulled off. It got cut. And honestly, that's my problem. Why schedule a match if you're just going to take it off? This is an issue. We had this issue before. They were going to have Mandy Rose versus Naomi, and then they didn't schedule that match. They scheduled it on WWE.com, and they pulled it. So what's the excuse now? Their last excuse was The Miz. Well, TV-wise, it was The Miz. So what was Sonya's excuse? So what was Sonya's excuse? She was so worried about Mandy Rose she couldn't compete? Come on. Why schedule a match if you're only going to take it off? Makes no sense to me. But yeah, this Mandy thing, I'm not into it. I love Mandy, but I'm just not into it. Get her in the ring and and have her show the world why she's the future women's champion. Then we had this bestie birthday bash. Seriously, this bestie birthday match is worse than a Nia Jax cutting a promo. Honestly, it's that bad. I don't care about The Miz as a baby face. The Miz as a face is not clicking to me. Shane McMahon is Shane McMahon. The Bar are going to be made look like idiots. The Bar are going to be looked like idiots. They're going to lose to Shane and Miz. And it's going to be worse than losing to a 10-year-old child at WrestleMania last year. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And then they schedule a match. The Miz versus Sheamus. The cake. Miz's a little cake that he made for Shane McMahon was on some desk of tables on the outside. And Cesaro goes through him. Because he tries to distract the Miz, and Shane McMahon knocks Cesaro off. He crashes through the table with the cake, and the Miz rolls him up for a pin. And then Miz and Shane McMahon decides to do a coast to coast. And Miz and that's it. Coast to coast with a cake to face. Honestly, I actually can't believe I'm saying this. Monday Night Raw was actually better than SmackDown. It's disappointing because SmackDown's one of my favorite shows. And we got stupid storylines like Mandy Rose, The Miz and Shane. Why can't we have competitive matches? Why can't we have competitive, great matches? I don't get it. But anyway, guys, that's the end of this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Comment your opinions down below as well. Be sure to follow me on my Twitter as well. And be sure to subscribe as well. Thank you all for joining. And I'll see you all in my next video when it comes up. See you then.